Many people reach out to me about purchasing a vacation rental, or sometimes referred to as an Airbnb home or a VRBO home. And I was once an Airbnb owner. So on today's video, I'm going to cover why it may not be quite as great as you think it is. And make sure you stay to the end. I will cover what was the final straw that pulled me out of the Airbnb business and turned the property into a traditional rental. So let's get after it right now. And welcome to the Living in Utah channel. I'm Mike Gallagher. I'm a local real estate agent. And if you want to learn everything about living in Utah, you've come to the right channel. You may consider tapping that subscribe button down below and hitting that bell notification. And YouTube will send you an alert every time I release a new video, and that's every week. And apart from making videos, I also help people buy or sell real estate in the local area. So if I can be of any assistance, I'll put my contact information on the screen. It will also be located down in the show notes. As we get started, if you were ever a vacation rental owner in the past or the present, let me know what your success rate was down in the comments. I would love to know the good and the bad points. It's great to get some different opinions. And as I mentioned earlier, I was the owner of a vacation rental. After all, the big rage in the investment communities right now is vacation rentals. And yes, they are popular. And many people have success with vacation rentals. It's also a great opportunity if there's a location in the country that you like to visit, or maybe out of the country. You like to spend a week, 2, 3 weeks, a year. Some people will purchase property there so they can stay in it during that time period, and the rest of the year they rent it out. It's a great idea. The home that I purchased was actually located fairly close to my home. So I thought that the easy access would make it easier to manage and to repair items. It was also a great property in a great location, and it was booked most of the time. I had no problem finding renters for the property. And just like many other vacation rental operators, I bought this home solely to make money. I had zero intentions of ever living in the home. As I said, it was located close to my primary residence. But if I knew what I know now, I probably would not have bought the property. So when we purchased a home, I dumped a ton of money into the home, updating it. I basically wanted a brand new home. So it got all new paint, all new flooring, all new bathrooms, updated kitchen, all the latest color schemes, the latest cabinets, the latest doorknobs, and I put a really nice deck out back. People could barbecue. It was a covered deck, actually, so you could even barbecue during the winter months if you wanted to. And you had beautiful views of the sunset. My intention was to have a vacation rental that I was very proud to rent out. A place when somebody came and stayed, they absolutely enjoyed the place. And my plan was just like everyone else, to collect hundreds of dollars a day and make maybe 2 to 3 times what the traditional rental rates were for that exact same home. And don't get me wrong, we had great success when it comes to revenue and occupancy. It was booked most of the time, the money was flowing in, and we were making 2 to 3 times what it would have rented for on a traditional type of rental. And I was well aware that you needed to provide a level of service that was better than a hotel. After all, why stay in Mike's house when you could just stay at the hotel down the road? So we installed a pool table, game machines, big screen TVs, a coffee machine, one of the Keurig machines, and it was always stocked. We had a room that was full of toys for all age groups. Also, brand new furniture, new beds, new couches, kitchen table. We purchased everything brand new. And I had no problem with that because I knew that it was going to be a large money investment into this property. And then there's the things that very few people want to discuss, like the hidden costs. There are cleaning fees, and those cleaning fees can be very steep. There is constant paint touch-ups. Probably every month we were going in there, touching up the paint. There was always marks on the wall, a little scrape here, a little scrape there. It was all accidentally done, nothing intentional. Then if you have a property manager take care of the property for you, you have management fees. And I've seen fees as high as 25%. Yes, 25%. So for every $1,000 you bring in, you're paying that management company 25%. Also, on a side note, if you are hiring a management company, make sure that they are adjusting the prices throughout the year. You cannot have one price throughout the whole year. Sometimes you have events that come into town that will demand a higher price. Also, holiday season. A lot of families come into these towns to visit with other family members. So you have to adjust your price accordingly. And also make sure that your property manager is checking the property on a regular basis, especially if it's not being rented. Actually, we did not pay any management fees. We managed the property ourselves. And then there's the repair costs. So let's say you have a typical rental. Typically, your repairs would be limited to, say, the plumbing, the electrical, the HVAC. That's some of your common repair items on a traditional rental. Now, when you have a vacation rental, you're responsible for the whole house. And I mean everything. So all those accessories that I listed just above, the game machines, the big screen TVs, yes, when they break, you have to repair them or replace them. Let's say the coffee machine breaks. Well, it's a very important item for some people, so you may have to go buy a new one and replace it that same day. If you don't want to perform the repairs yourself, well, that's fine. I would recommend that you find a great handyman that is willing to work on weekends. After all, these people are on vacation. They would like these items repaired today. And when you have to call a handyman out to repair something today, you are probably going to pay top dollar for those repairs. So if you are considering purchasing a vacation rental, make sure that the area you're looking at does not have any restrictions. So do some research on the particular area to make sure that vacation rentals are allowed. I would also look through some of the local city council meeting notes to see if anybody has objected to vacation rentals, or if there's a possibility that they might change the laws for vacation rentals in that particular area. I actually know a local city. They went onto some of the popular sites, the Airbnb, the VRBO. They found out everybody who was renting a property in their city. And next, they sent them all a letter notifying them that they were in violation of the city short-term rental laws and to stop renting. Okay, my story as to why I got out of the Airbnb business. Who knows? I may get back into the business someday, but for now, I am out of the business. I thought I had a modern home. I had all the latest conveniences, everything that you could imagine. I even had thermostats that were I could control off my phone so I could change the heat. On the front door, I had a keypad to enter so you didn't need a key. Well, I was going on vacation. Somebody was also renting the home on the same day. I was literally sitting at the airport in the terminal when the phone rings, and it went like this. We can't get in the home, Mike. I'm like, oh, no problem. Just hit the number, 3691. And I remember the number to this day. They kept hitting the number, could not access the home. So I got my phone out, and I always made a note because I changed the number to the front door every time somebody moved out of the property. When I was over there, it was real easy to change, so I always made a history of it. So I started giving them all the previous numbers. 2842, 6218. Nothing worked. Nothing at all worked. And they're like, we still cannot get in a home. So I had to make a quick decision. I either take this flight and go on vacation, or I drive for 45 minutes to my property and I install a new doorknob or let the people in. So I drove all the way up to the house. 3691, enter. The door opened right away. And they said, oh, we never hit the enter button. And when I was at the airport, I couldn't even think of that. For the life of me, I could not think why they did not have access to the home. So I did miss my vacation. By the time I got back to the airport, the flight was long gone. So we were on our way to California. So I said to the wife, guess what? We're just going to drive. So we drove to Las Vegas and we stayed and we continued on. And I did enjoy my vacation. But that was kind of like the final straw. I got out of the Airbnb business for that and some other reasons. When I say you make 2 to 3 times the money, yes, you do in revenue, but your expenses are 2 to 3 times also higher. You also have to pay the electric bill, the gas bill, whether someone stays there or not. the internet bill, the cable TV bill. There's a lot of extra bills that add an extra $400, $500, $600 a month on top of what a traditional rental would be. Because a traditional rental, the renter has to pay all the utilities and the internet and everything else that goes into a home. So that's why I got out of the Airbnb business. Who knows, I may get back into the Airbnb business maybe sometime later in life, but for now, it's really not for me. That property is now a traditional rental, have somebody in there long term, so I am happy.